Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sports Circus. I am your host today, Lenny Adkins, voice of the people. We do not have our ringmaster today, Sal Tuzzolino. He is not here. Who knows though? Sal might pop in at any moment. He is just dangerous and loose that way. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a good time today on the Sports Circus. We have a lot to cover today. But first things first, we have to cover our sponsor. So one of our sponsors today the show is brought to you by the Social Register of Las Vegas, the only private business network organization in Las Vegas, bringing the decision makers together for over 23 years. Call today and reach out 702-256-0123 or visit their website www.socialregister.com. Guys, NFL draft. I can remember when I was younger, many moons ago when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And I remember the NFL draft. Yeah, it was something neat. And you built up the draft and your expectation because your team absolutely sucked. And if you got yourself a good player and a good pick, man, you were excited for this because you felt, Elway is going to come around or Lawrence Taylor is going to come around or some big name is going to come around. And your team was once again going to be relevant. You're going to be back on the food chain, high on the food chain. And sometimes you make that stupid pick. I mean, that stupid Tony Mandrich type of pick. That's stupid as a Chargers fan, the Ryan Leaf pick. That you're like, you thought that was gold. I mean, I remember Ryan Leaf coming out of college. I thought, man, this guy's got tremendous game. Chargers are going to go places. And what did we get? We got nothing but a bunch of headaches. You know what we got out of Ryan Leaf? All we have is a soundbite. When you think about it, Ryan Leaf, all you think is when he was in the locker room and a reporter was asking him some questions, he welled up in tears and he said, knock it off! And then Junior Seau had to come over there and rescue the man. Okay? So, yeah, there are some really, really bad draft picks. And sometimes they're just absolute great draft picks. Or can we say the diamond in the rough? Can we honestly look at Tom Brady and say Tom Brady would be Tom Brady if it weren't for the tuck rule? Can we say that somebody who was drafted in the nobody cares league, as far as when he got drafted, Tom Brady was what round? 6th? 7th? Who even knows? But here's Tom Brady, all because Drew Bledsoe got injured. And man, that guy is the top of the food chain, perennial MVP, going into the Hall of Fame, got the superstar model wife, got the perfect pearly white teeth. He's got everything going for him. And it's all because of one thing, Raider fan. That's right, the tuck rule. Oh man, if it weren't for the tuck rule, Raider fan, don't you wish you could go back in time and eliminate that tuck rule, have Woodson get his hand on that ball, cause the fumble, and where would Tom Brady be? Where would he be? I mean, he would not be Tom Brady if it weren't for that play of the tuck rule. So Raider fans, God bless you, because you guys need a lot of help. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start off a little bit with the NFL draft, guys. First pick in the NFL draft, coming up to the podium, is the Cleveland Browns. Did you notice Roger Goodell, a homegrown, born Philly dude? He goes into Philly with those 100,000 ravenous fans outside. Just a few days before, it was raining like cats and dogs and thunder and lightning. Thank God that didn't happen to those guys. But here you go. Here comes Roger Goodell and a thundering rendition of boos for the man, albeit deserving. Yes, Roger Goodell, you've kind of sucked with your implementation of, coming down on people, exercising your authority with punishment. You haven't done the greatest job of that, investigating things. You look like you have a lot of favoritism, Roger Goodell, with certain players and owners and stuff, but nevertheless, the man is up at the podium. The first pick in the NFL draft goes to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns pick up Myles Garrett. Who is Myles Garrett? An absolute beast. This man is somebody that you put on the radar, and he is a game changer. He could possibly be a franchise changer altogether, okay? This guy is, sometimes you get those people. Sometimes you get this guy that will just turn around a club. Can we look back a few pages here, ladies and gentlemen? Last year with my San Diego Chargers, you're always going to get pub on San Diego, okay, from me. So San Diego goes ahead and gets Joey Bosa. They had an opportunity to go somewhere else. They had an opportunity to get this kid from Oregon. They went with Bosa. Penn State, highly educated, good head on his shoulder, big, strong dude. Holds out for some cash because his mommy didn't think he had a better deal. So he goes ahead and holds out, and this guy is the defensive rookie of the year. An absolute monster. Same thing here. Cleveland Browns, bravo, guys. You finally made something good. But I'll tell you what, you guys are still irrelevant. You still need more pieces. But a guy like this, ladies and gentlemen, can really change the tide. He might come in there and just be a stud rookie. But let me tell you something. Sometimes there's some etiquette that you have to have. You have to be able to zip your mouth sometimes, and you got to shut up. Because here's why. He's asked a question of, what quarterback, would you want to see yourself, taking down? And then he has the gall, the nerve, the stupidity of saying, well, Big Ben Roethlisberger, he's a champion, and, you're going after Big Ben? Hey, Rook, why don't you wake up? You haven't even laced up a pair of cleats yet. You haven't even smelled the grass of a professional stadium yet. You haven't even heard the whistle blow yet for one of your many holding calls in the future, or a face mask, or whatever somebody's going to call on you. You haven't heard any of that yet. And here you are calling out Big Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, Big Ben has so much street cred, dude. Big Ben is a legendary going into the Hall of Fame. I can escape you at any moment, rookie. I mean, have you thought about the elusive Big Ben? He's all of 6'6". Have you seen him, rookie, escape these tackles? They're on him, on his collar, over the top of him, and Big Ben somehow, like Houdini out of a straitjacket, he goes ahead and he gets all of this stuff going. He is awesome. So here's another thing. Rookie, less is more. I hope that you do well. Next on the clock, the San Francisco 49ers. So the 49ers are going to get up. And their pick is traded. Their pick got traded. Who did it go to? Did it go to somebody way down? Did the 49ers have to give up a lot? I'm thinking when I hear that the pick was traded, thinking, wow, somebody is making some moves to make a big jump. I mean, some serious spaces right now. I'm thinking, could possibly be like in the 15th to 20th slot, somewhere around there. Somebody is just jumping up. They're making some ballsy type move. So who did they trade with? They traded with the Bears. The Bears. Why the Bears? The Bears were number 3. The Bears apparently wanted to get a franchise quarterback. So they want to get this kid Mitchell. Okay, yeah, Mitchell. He's a good studly quarterback. Is he a franchise quarterback? The jury's out on that. With any rookie, you don't know if they're a franchise quarterback. I mean, that is a complete rolling the dice moment right there on a franchise quarterback. You cannot jump up just one spot from 3 to 2. And what did they do? They gave up their future. And San Francisco, let me tell you, San Francisco needed a lot. They didn't just need, they just didn't need Solomon out of Stanford, who they picked up, who's an awesome defensive player. This kid is a solid player who's gonna make some noise. They needed far more than him. I mean, they needed multiple positions because, as we all know, the 49ers are an absolute train wreck. But what happened? Something rose from the ashes of despair. And all of a sudden, what was that hope? It was in the absolute moronic idiocy of the Chicago Bears. The Bears. It should be the Bears. Okay? Because that was a really, really stupid move. There's no way that they should have gone, just one spot. Stay where you are, Bears. Guess what? That quarterback's going to be there. I guarantee you that the 49ers didn't have that cat on their radar. Not a chance. So, unless this guy becomes the second coming of John Elway or one of the Manning brothers, boy, did you guys get hosed. Let's hope for the best for you guys, because it would be nice to see the Chicago Bears relevant, just because Sal the bookmaker, that's his team. He's my guy. Okay? I'm gonna make sure that, Sal's team prospers, even if I have to will it myself into happening, okay? Give that positive energy out there. Hey, let's step down a little bit now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit about my draft pick. At number 7, San Diego Chargers pick, Mike Williams. A stud, guys. Clemson. Look at the highlight reel of this young man. I mean, he's over 6'3", possibly 6'4". He could jump out of a gym. No, he doesn't have Randy Moss type speed, okay? Or even Julio Jones. But the young man did give a lot of credibility to Julio Jones. He said, I'd love for my game to be like Julio Jones. And he wants to model his game after him. And, that wasn't a surprise pick for me. Sometimes people think, well, you got a stud with Joey Bosa. Get somebody else, because as you know, Lenny, defense wins championships. Well, I can tell you right now, the voice of the people listens to the crowd, and the crowd was saying, if we're going to keep Phillip Rivers and we're not trading him, which is what I thought they should have done. I thought they should have traded Phillip Rivers. I thought that this is the time when you have a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback, about maybe 3 or 4 years left in his tank, dangle him out there and make a blockbuster deal with some team and just rob them blind and rebuild for the future. But since we do have Joey Bosa and Keenan Allen is getting healthy again, that's what you needed to do. You needed to get a bookend wideout so that you can just run wild on the league and do some damage with Rivers. Okay, Rivers is throw happy. We've got Melvin Gordon in the backfield. We're going to be good with that guy. He had a breakout season last year. And Joey Bosa, as I said, he's an awesome beast. We have him under his second year in his voyage in the NFL. And we're going to be good. We're going to be all good on that front. So Chargers, I'm going to give you guys probably a solid B on your first round draft pick, okay? Number 7, San Diego Chargers, good job. How about we look at the Raiders? The Raiders, okay? The Raiders picking, they go ahead and they get a cornerback. Conley, Studley quarterback, good man. And you know what? He's going to be a perfect fit for the Raiders. He's going to be a perfect fit. Why? Because he's going to be incarcerated. The guy's under investigation for alleged sexual misconduct, okay? And wouldn't you know that Mark Davis comes up and says, I take a strong stance against, sexual predators and rights of women, and he said all this stuff in a recent statement. And then he picks Conley. Are we shocked, ladies and gentlemen, by the pick of the Raiders? I mean, they're the Raiders. And let me tell you something. The Raiders are not what they used to be. As I grew up, the Raiders were feared. The Raiders in the 70s, they had the 3H saying: hit, hunt, and hurt. I love that. You'd have Matuzak, you'd have the Stork, Hendricks, you'd have all these guys that would just be assassins out on the field, and they didn't care to pick up a penalty. But because the game has changed so much, and the Raiders do get penalized a lot, they skirted the NFL and the tough guys that have to suck on lollipops and look out for the quarterback's skirts. They no longer can be that feared entity that they used to be. But what about the Raiders? Who's making decisions for the Raiders? I thought for a moment today, and here's what I thought. At the Raiders war room, who's the brains of that? And you can easily YouTube this and find out the mastermind behind the Raiders organization. Ladies and gentlemen, it is none other than from that old 1970s cartoon from the Croft Network. It's Chaka from Land of the Lost, okay? That little hairy caveman, Chaka, is making the deals for the Raiders. Chaka no want to draft a quarterback. Chaka no want to get a good player. Chaka want a felon. Chaka want to destroy the Raiders because Chaka doesn't know what he's doing. Chaka should be spending his time taking care of protecting Holly and getting off of the Land of the Lost and those slee stacks that used to chase him. But no, Chaka is making decisions for the Raider Nation. That is just what we need. We need the Raiders. You know what? It would be good. Las Vegas is coming, baby. I mean, you need the Raiders to be relevant in the NFL. I mean, you really do. Do people realize that the Raiders have some of the top-selling gear in the NFL? That doesn't matter if it's connected to alleged gang ties or thugs or whatever. People just like to wear the Raiders stuff. They like to have their tattoos that says mother. They like the other one that says I hate society. And they love to wear their silver and black. And there's nothing wrong with that. The silver and black need to be back. And it's not going to happen when you make a boneheaded pick like this. Now, given they probably did win a great lottery by getting the beast, Marshawn Lynch. I mean, a homegrown homeboy coming back to Oakland. That guy is as hard as they come, okay? And this guy is going to be an absolute animal, what the Raiders need. And the Raiders need that in the next 2 years on their move over to lost wages. And they need to be very, very relevant. And hopefully the Raider organization is going to pick up this slack. They're going to do the right thing. And they're going to make themselves relevant in the future. And might I say also, it was a historic pick for the Chargers as they were the first pick as the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay? That's a good thing. Los Angeles didn't have football for 22 years, ladies and gentlemen, and now they've got way too much football. I mean, that's like putting too much salt in the soup, you know. After a while, you know, it can get watered down before you can even eat it. So, anyway, that's where I am on that. NFL draft is an absolute spectacular bonanza that they make it. It's really cool how they dress everything up. And I'd like to give a little shout out to Tack, the boy, the defensive young man out of UCLA, bringing a picture of his grandmother. I mean, what a story. His parents abandoned him. He gets raised by his grandma since he was 5. Her dying breath, the young man says, "Grandma, I'm going to make it in the NFL." And what does he do? I mean, with tears of joy, he brings a huge picture of Grandma out there on the draft floor. And he gives Grandma some props. Much, much respect and love, young man, for what you did. All right, hey, that is the first segment here of the Sports Circus. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. We're going to go to a break, and we will go ahead and flip it on the other side.